Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and today I have my brand new year of my Project 10 uses and my No Pan Left Behind. I combine these two projects together because it's what works best for me, but I know a lot of people do these projects separately. So I have a full year playlist of this project from last year. So if you want to go back and watch it, if you are new to my channel, I do have a full year of these projects. But to give you a little bit of an overview, I do my Project 10 uses because with panning, I noticed that I was neglecting a lot of other products in my collection. So I wanted to figure out a way to roll them in and kind of force myself to use them, but also I want to use all my products. I love all my products. I bought them for a reason. So this is a way to put them to the forefront of my mind. So in a randomized wheel, I have my blushes, my highlighters, my lip products, my eyeliners, my perfumes, and my nail polishes. So those 6 categories, which some of those are larger categories in my collection, so it was hard for me to get through everything, but those are the 6 categories that I have in my wheel. Now I have removed a few things from the wheel if it is already in another what did I remove from the wheel? Oh, like my light eyeliner that I use in my inner rim every day. I removed that from the wheel because I'm using it every day anyway. I also removed my liner in Tiramisu from Sephora just because it's in my project pan, and I would rather show you guys updates in that project, especially since I am using it quite often. So there was a few things here and there. Oh, like a top coat and my base coats for my nail polish. I took those out because I'm using those every time I do my nails anyway. So if there's a few things that you have seen in my collection, but they're not in my wheel, I removed them for a reason. And then for my No Pan Left Behind, I do have 70 something eyeshadow products. That's either palettes or single shadows in my collection. This is before my declutter because I still have not done my declutter and my destruction of my palettes. And so I want to touch every single shadow in my collection. So that is the premise of my No Pan Left Behind. We are starting fresh with my Project 10 uses. So let me go ahead and get everything pulled up, get my wheels pulled up. I have my book to be able to write my products into my journal, and we will get into the Project 10 uses. So like I said in the intro, we are doing my Project 10 uses. And so I draw 10 products out of those 6 categories into this project. And let me go into my wheel. It is still quite cold here, so I'm wearing a new sweater. I bought this from Amazon. I had a little extra like cushion money in my budget because January for me is a magic month. So I get 3 paychecks in January. So I had a little bit extra money. So I treated myself to some clothes and some warmer clothes because it has been very cold. You guys might have seen on my Instagram that I was posting snow pictures. So we got snow here in Florida, and I measured 8 inches of snow on the cars. That is where, because I know they say like measure it on like a flat surface that's the snow's going to settle on. So on the car, we had 8 inches of snow, which is crazy. So I'm filming this on the 25th, which is usually the day that this goes up. Sorry, it's going to be a day late, but I think I learned about myself that if it is cold and snowing, I don't want to do anything. It is Saturday, and this is the first time I've put makeup on this week. I did not wear makeup. I actually worked out of bed because it was snow days for us, but because we telework, they're like, if you can work, continue to contact your clients and just check on everybody. So I actually worked from bed, like curled up under the blankets. I worked from bed for 2 days. So I did not want to do anything. So snow really does not motivate me to get up and do my normal routine. But we have a little bit of snow left on the deck, but everything that was on the ground, everything that was on the cars has melted. But yeah, we had a winter wonderland. The dogs absolutely loved it. I fear now that I have snow dogs that they're going to be very upset that this probably will never ever happen again in their lifetime. But eventually, I would love to be able to take our dogs traveling, like up to Tennessee in the cabins and things like that. So maybe we'll be able to get them to see snow again in their lifetime, because Wash and Anara were playing so hard. And Anara is feeling better with her foot. And thank you so much to everybody for Jane's birthday wishes. Our old man is doing very well after his 13th birthday. So let me pull this up and we're going to go into my Project 10 uses, and let me record my screen. So basically what we are doing for this intro to this project is we're going to be pulling 10 items off of this wheel. I forget, I think there's like 70 something options on this wheel, and so we are going to let the wheel decide for us what we are working on. There is one item that's on this wheel that is being shipped to me right now. So if that item is picked, then I will just start using it whenever it gets here. But I have my little book. I already have my products for my deck of panning written down on here. So now we are going to start with our products for this project. So we're going to do pick number 1. Oh, my sound is not working. Let me turn up my sound so that we can get the click clacks of the sound on the next one. But this is my Tarte highlighting palette, and this is in Spotlight. So let me actually pull the palette out and see what shade that is. So you guys all know and love my palette here. Spotlight is shade number 3. Okay, so we're going to do 10 uses on shade number 3 on the Tarte highlighting palette. All right, let's look at pick number 2. I got my volume turned up so we can hear. INLP Butterflies. Okay, so that's a nail polish. If you guys are new to this project and my channel, when I pick a nail polish, my 10 uses is each hand or foot counts as 1 use. So 1 manicure is 2 uses. Otherwise, it would take me forever to get through 10 uses on a nail polish. And I do want to try to rotate through as much as possible on this project. All right, pick number 3 is going to be my ColourPop gel liner in Revenge. So this is a new one that I bought that you guys have not seen in my buys and buys yet, but little spoiler that I don't need any more eyeliners, but I sure bought some more. Or did I show you this one? I'll have to look to see when this one came into my collection. This one you guys might have already seen, but that doesn't mean that I didn't buy more eyeliners this month. So pick number 4. We're not going to talk about that right now. So my Butter Bomb in Hot Cocoa. All right. So that was number 4. I'm going to turn my page, and we're going to have pick number 5. Is my liner in Chartreuse. Ooh, fun. This one just made the cut to stay in my collection. And I decluttered a few of my NYX liners, but this was not one of them. So I still really do like this liner, and it stays really creamy. So I'm glad to have that one rolled in, especially when you guys see what palettes I have left to do. So this is a shadow stick, but this one I include in my eyeliners because I use my shadow sticks more as eyeliners. But this is in Socialite. So that was pick number 6. So we have 4 more. All right, let's see. Let's do pick number 7. Be nice to get something that wasn't an eyeliner. So this is also a shadow stick, but again, I use it as liner, and that's So Celestial. All right, 3 more. I'm going to hit the button a little bit more, see if I can spin it real good. All right, my Valentina Born in Roma Coral. So that is a perfume. I asked for a pure perfume, so we are going to go with that one. That one was just rolled in late last year, so that one will be fun to work on again. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need 2 more. Cosmic Unicorn Skin. All right, that's another nail polish. I'm also very rusty at filming because I haven't filmed for over a week. So forgive me for that. I have not left the house since last Sunday, and it's Saturday now. So I have not had real human interaction for quite some time. All right, one more pick, and then I'll pull all these out to show you where we're starting. My Makeup Geek liner in silver. This one is in my 25 and 2025, so this will get some good uses on it as well. All right, I have all of my products, and we're going to look to see where everything is starting. So the first one that we rolled in is the Tarte highlighting palette, and we rolled in Spotlight, which is our shade number 3, which is this one right here, just so you can see the size of the pan. I will be tracking, since I have so many liners and I really don't want to roll all these up to mark them, I'm just going to be showing you, especially with the liners, the weight differences with the changes. Now, of course, with everything else, I do take pictures, so we will have graphics popping up somewhere with our starting pictures and our starting weights, but we are going to do 10 uses on Spotlight, which is our shade number 3. I say it every single time that this like rolls into something or I pull this out, but I love this highlighting palette. And it's my Franken one, so you can't buy this anymore. You can't buy it in these shades. I made all of these shades myself, so I don't know what I'm going to do with myself after that thing is gone. But the next one we rolled in is Butterflies, and from ILNP. Did I have it backwards? I have it even backwards in my spreadsheets. That's dyslexia at its finest, that I typed all of these wrong into my spreadsheets. So I'm going to have to go back and fix all my spreadsheets because it's I love nail polish, not I nail love polish. Bless my heart. I'm going to be Southern for a second and bless my own heart. But this is in Butterflies. It is a creme, so it's just a solid color. But it's this beautiful periwinkle lilac. I do need to shake it up. It is kind of separating a little bit with the polish because I haven't used this one in a while. But I'm going to show you guys the other nail polish that rolled in. But this one's practically brand new. I think I've only used this once or twice since purchasing it. So it's practically brand new. But the other one we pulled in is the Holo Taco Unicorn Skin. And that's where we're at on this one. But look at these two shades together. Like, can I hold them? Like, that is going to be beautiful. With the Cosmic Unicorn Skin and the shifts that it has, these two will layer perfectly, and nice colors for the winter and the cold months. Again, I had all the time in the world this week to paint my nails because we were snowed in, but also every time I went outside, I had to put on gloves. So that probably would not have been good with wet nail polish, but we are going to roll into, we have our highlighter palette, our 2 nail polish. Now we have some liners. So let me actually look to see when I bought Revenge, because I did a ColourPop order not too long ago. But let me see when Revenge came in. So Revenge, actually, I bought this in October. So you guys have seen this one already in my roll-in. So again, I'm not going to roll up all of my liners and take pictures of where our starting is, just because these are so prone to breaking. But that's Revenge right there. It's just a beautiful kind of silvery metallic light sky blue. So we are doing 10 uses on this one. Let me just roll through the liner since I have 5 of them rolled in to this project. The next one we had was NYX Chartreuse. I think that they have discontinued this shade, but it's this beautiful Chartreuse. So a metallic greeny gold right there. Absolutely stunning. And then we had Socialite, which is, the names have rubbed off of these, my 2 shadow sticks. So I I'm pretty sure that this is what they are. So, actually, no. Socialite is a lighter one. Either way, like I said, I know what they are. I just don't know which one is which because all the writing has rubbed off of them. But this is one of the shadow sticks from ColourPop. It's this beautiful, like, champagne-y rose gold. Very, very pretty. And then the other one, I think that this one is So Celestial, the darker one. I love smudging this one on my outer corner. But this is just a beautiful kind of like antique bronze right there. Like an antique bronze, but with like a green gold shift. Beautiful. Like I said, I love this on my outer corner. And then the last liner that we had is my my Makeup Geek. This is actually in Gunmetal. I have it down in my spreadsheet as silver because it is silver, but that's Gunmetal right there. So this one is in my 25 and 2025 that I want to use this liner up this year. I love using this liner in my tight line whenever I'm doing more cool toned looks. But we also had a lip product. So we had my Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm in Hot Cocoa. This one is practically new. I've used it a couple times, but I haven't used it a whole lot. Today I am wearing my iced coffee one, so this is what's on my lips. I probably could do for a reapply of iced coffee. But I absolutely love these. I think I have to sneeze, so maybe I can prevent it from happening. But in this project, we are going to be using hot cocoa 10 times, which is not hard because it is so good. So I know that ColourPop just came out with their own version of this, and Andrea Mentiliano, I've tried 4 times to say her name correctly, and my mouth does not want to work. But Andrea, I'm sure you guys all know and watch her. She actually was saying that like the scents are very similar, and the colors are beautiful, and the formula is beautiful. So I have 3 of these, so I don't need any more. But man, those ColourPop ones are tempting me. And then our last item that we have rolled in is my Valentino Born in Roma Coral, and you can take off the little spiky silicone bit, and we can see that I am still where I was before. So like I said, this was rolled in last year and it was rolled in for 4 updates. This is not my favorite, and I kind of hate that, like, I'll spray it in store and I really like it, and I'll spray it on me in store and walk around with it, but then whenever I get home and I actually buy it, I'm like, man, I don't really like this that much. So I'm kind of powering my way through this. I kind of have to be in the right kind of mood to wear this, so we'll see if it takes me another 4 months to get through 10 uses of this, or if I can just knock it out early and be done with it. But those are my 10 items that are going to be rolling into my Project 10 uses. I will use them 10 times. Lots of liners, so of course I'm not going to get through all of these liners in like an update or 2. I'm going to pick away at these as I can. I can see the Gunmetal one and then the 2 more neutral shadow sticks. I can see these being used relatively quickly because I can incorporate these into a lot of different looks. But of course, our colored ones, I will see what I can do with the shadows that I have to get these colors used. But I love both of them. So I love having a colored liner on every single look. But let me pack this up so nothing rolls off my table and nothing breaks, and then we will get into my No Pan Left Behind update. All right, so I have my book and I have my basket of palettes. I updated my wheel, but I don't know if I'm going to be rolling anything in because with my palettes that rolled in to my deck of panning, I actually don't have any space on my little rack there. But I'm almost done with a few of these palettes, so I feel like I should roll some stuff in. So let me give you the update and then I will see where we're going with it. But you guys had kind of unofficially voted in my comment section of my finale for me to just keep this rolling because I did not reach my goal of using all of my shadows in 2024. So you guys were like, just keep going, just keep tracking your progress, give us the update and roll in new palettes. I will say that the palettes that I'm planning on deconstructing or decluttering, I have removed them from my wheel already because I don't want to roll them in if I'm going to be destroying them and turning them into a new Z palette, basically. If and when I do end up having a customized palette with some of those shades that I'm saving, I will then roll that custom palette into my wheel. But I am still working off of my spreadsheet, which I showed you guys in my video in December. That was like my panning reset video. I showed you guys how I set up my book, so I'll make sure to link that one down below. But I'm still working off of my graph from last year because, like I said, I had some of these palettes that I was not done with by the end of the year. But I do have 2 palettes that are completed and rolled out. I have updates on 4, and then I have 1 palette that is new that I started using. So any palette that's new and I roll in or I buy, I automatically roll that into my No Pan Left Behind because I want to use it and I want to be able to give you guys a review on it. So 1 new palette. Also a little caveat, I did remove my ER palettes from my wheel. And so if any point in time we have seen some changes and I feel comfortable featuring that brand on my channel again, then I will roll them back into my wheel. But for right now, those palettes are not in my wheel, so they will not be drawn in this project. So let's look at the 2 palettes that I was able to hit my goal on. So the first one is going to be my Pat McGrath and Bridgerton Diamond of the First Water palette. It's just a 6 pan. It is beautiful. And I actually ended up using this shade up here as a blush whenever I did my looks. Also at the end of all this, I end up having some pictures of my looks. Again, not a whole lot of pictures because I didn't wear makeup the last week, and also around Christmas whenever I was off of work, I wasn't wearing a lot of makeup then either. So I'm kind of short on pictures this time around, but I do show my pictures. So this palette, got it done. Love this blue shade. I ended up using this blue shade in December. Everything else I used in January. I did create another look with all of these shades, and then I used this one here as a blush, and that was my completion of this palette. That one has long been discontinued, but I love it. And then I do have my ColourPop in a Trance. The only thing different about this palette is the shade in the middle is originally one of their like really chunky glitters, and so I took that out and I put this other shade in there. So this green shade is out of the ColourPop So Jaded palette. That's where that green comes from. But this is my In a Trance, and I was able to use, let me see, I used this and the green in December, and the rest of the palette I used in January. So love this. It's very beautiful, very pretty, very pastel. I considered decluttering this one or taking this one apart, but it's just a little 9 pan. It's not kind of hurting my storage situation. So I'm going to keep this one together for now, but it's not my favorite. But I do like it. Like anytime that I pull it out and play with it, I enjoy it. That's what she said. Wow. You know, I love It's Just Steph. And when she goes off on her little tangents and then she's like, oh God, I'm going to lose subscribers from this. That just came out of my mouth, and that was my exact thought. I was like, all right, people are just going to hit the unsubscribe. Because, you know, anytime that I pull this out and play with it, I enjoy it. Take that for what it is. But I'm going to move on. And this is why I wear makeup, because you guys can't see how insanely I'm blushing under my makeup right now. after I just said that. I have been writing way too much spicy romance for my own good. My mind is all the way in the gutter, all the way. But let's look at the palettes that I'm still working on and transition away from that. So the first one that I have pulled out of here is the AB8 Sultry. And so I do have about half of this palette done. Here is what we are looking like. And so because it's so shimmer heavy, I kind of feel like you end up reaching back into a lot of the mattes 2 or 3 times to be able to use all the shimmers, which I'm not upset about, but when I'm trying to use every shadow in my collection, I'm trying to figure out, can I reach into this other palette for this shadow and then come back to this one? So about half of it done. I have, let's see, this one, was it Embers? No, that's Cinder. So I have Cinder. I have these two here to do. I have the Rose Quartz one, which I listed that off by memory. That's pretty good. And then I have Birch to do. So I could end up making a really nice look with Birch and then some of, like, is that Teak? Man, I'm doing good with listing my shadows without looking at it, but I do love this palette. Again, the pink doesn't really need to be there, and when this is one of my palettes that I'm going to deconstruct, so I'm also waiting to be done with using every shade in here before I deconstruct it, just so I can get my thoughts on the whole palette before I decide what stays and what goes, but definitely that pink is going to go. Now, I love pink eyeshadow, and you'll see that with this one here, which is the Sigma Quarter Rosa. I love pinks. Like, I love all the looks that I've done so far with this palette. I just don't like the pink in this palette. So definitely don't feel like I need that coming into that palette. But I do really love the Quarter Rosa. And I only have this quad down here and then this shade Campfire right here to use. Those are my only 5 that I have left. I thought about trying to use all 5 of those in a look for today, but I really wanted to go ahead and do this look and use, this is out of the Mercury Retrograde, and also I used a few shades from my Viseart Theory Nuance palette. Those 2 are in my deck of panning, so I wanted to do a look that got me some brownie points for deck of panning, but I love this. And this even more makes me want to think about my eyeshadow collection and be like, what other palettes do I have in my collection that I'm quote unquote forcing myself to use when they're not my favorite? And then I'm neglecting this because the formula, the shades, the blend, the shimmers, gorgeous. I have not been disappointed by anything that has come out of this palette. So very happy that that one rolled in to my No Pan Left Behind. This one I am also very close on, and it's in a Z palette, but this is the remnants of my ColourPop So Jaded. This is the color story that I like better than the one that it came with, plus this takes up a smaller footprint in my collection. But all I have left are these 2 shimmers down here, and then this shimmer up here. So again, 3 shimmers when I'm done with all the rest of the mattes, so I'm trying to... I guess that's when you need like a matte palette that you're trying to use so that you can just reach for all the leftover shimmers. But definitely some cool tones that are in here. And so I want to go ahead and do a couple more cool tone looks. Maybe this also can wrap into my Huda Beauty one and I can like mix and match. But I only have 3 shades left on this one. Of course, I love the warm toned side of this palette, but also these purples call to me just as much. So that is that one. So this is what I wanted to, I guess, talk to you guys about and kind of talk myself through. These 3 palettes, I only have 5 shades left on this one, 3 shades left on this one, and 3, 4, 5 left on Sultry. So technically, I probably could do 1, 2, 3, 4-ish looks and be done with all 3 of these palettes. So that makes me think that I should draw in some more palettes for this project just to keep us rolling, because I don't want to be done with everything and then just sitting there and being like, I guess I'm going to pick palettes myself and not pick them on camera, because I don't want to do that to you guys. I want to keep everybody involved. But the next one, this big old honkin' one here, let me find it in my spreadsheet. So this is the Tati Volume 1, and this is what we look like on the inside. For this one, I do have the glitter row crossed off on my spreadsheet just because I don't want to reach for the glitters. I think I say this every time because somebody will comment. I understand these glitters are eye safe. These glitters are actually really, really beautiful. I am just choosing for myself to not use the glitters. So I end up crossing the glitters off on my list and I just use the 3 rows over here. So I need to use these 4 up here and then these 2 shimmers right here, which this one here is just a highlight shade and it could be so easy to use. And same thing with the metallic in the Soothe row, which is this one right here. It's beautiful. I mean, I have no reason. I end up with more shimmers than mattes. So, but this actually might be a really nice palette to reach into for some mattes with these other palettes that I'm trying to get used up. So I do only have 6 shades left in this one as well. We're going out after this, so I don't want to wipe my shadow on my pants, but I do have an undershirt on. So I think the undershirt is going to get the shadows. So don't mind me over here being grubby. So 6 more shades on this one. I think that this one will take me a little bit longer, so I'm not going to roll in another palette for this one. But the other ones, I think I do want to roll in a new palette for those. Let me put all these away so nothing ends up on my floor, because that's happened before. And then, did you guys see this? Yeah, you saw this in my most recent buys and buys. So I did pick up the Cosmic Beauty Undergrowth palette. This one is gorgeous, stunning. I think I did actually use this palette in that video. So my buys and buys, I was wearing this palette and I have not worn it since. Again, have I even worn makeup since? It's the 25th when I'm filming this. I've worn makeup 13 times in January. That's it. I'm disappointed in myself, but apparently I just needed a break. But my skin is actually doing worse because I haven't been wearing makeup. But I only have 4 shades done on this one, so it's going to stay in so that I can use the rest of this palette and give you guys some more updates. But so far it is what we expect from Cosmic Beauty with the mattes and with the shimmers, with the duochromes. Like the shimmers, the metallics, the duochromes are so silky smooth and they are more of a light formula. So like the ABH, that is a thick, heavy formula. This is a more lightweight formula, but it still gives you that beautiful impact. So I think that that's almost like the big difference between like an outdated formula versus a new formula is they're able to give us that shine and that impact without the shadow feeling heavy. So beautiful quality, love it to pieces, but we are going to roll in 3 palettes. What the hell? Why not? You know, that's what this whole project and video is about. So I do have 59 options on my wheel. Let me go ahead and do my screen recording so that we can roll in 3 palettes, and I will go ahead and let me grab my pen because I'm going to need to put little dots next to the palettes that we end up picking. Okay, so 3 palettes. Let's go with palette number 1. Of course, if it's already rolled in, we're not going to pick it again. The ColourPop Give It To Me Straight. Okay. I actually made that into a new color story. So let me actually find out. Okay, so we're going to do that one. And even though I combined that that palette with another one, which I'll show you guys, I'm still going to just use that palette by itself. And if I dip into the other shades, then great. But I do love the custom palettes that I was able to make with my Give Me Glow empty palettes. So Mini My Dream. So I do have my minis all depotted and in a big palette. So I need to remember I'm doing the My Dream because I don't know where that is on my sheet yet. But we have the Mini My Dream, and what's our third palette? The Rose Edit. Okay, that's another one that I ended up making a big one out of. Okay. All right, let me grab these real quick and I'll show you guys what I'm going to end up doing. All right, so the first one that we pulled is my ColourPop Give It To Me Straight. So of course, the original one is a 12 pan palette. I did that as a pan that palette 3 years ago. And so this is what is left of it. And so everything has pan. This shade up here was actually leftover highlighter from whenever I did my repressing of my palette. So I just pressed it into an empty ColourPop pan and created this beautiful shimmer. So the rest of them, so all of the rest of these are original to the palette, but they all have beautiful pan on them because this was a pan that palette. Now I did combine this with my Viseart Apricot palette, and I'm curious when I go to reach for this if I'm going to be dipping into both sides. If I do, I will definitely let you guys know, and of course I will mark them off on my sheet, but I really wanted to combine these color stories. That was the garbage man, because our garbage has not run all week because the ice and the snow. So the dogs are very confused as to why we're getting our trash picked up. But this here, I'm curious if I'm going to reach into both. I'm okay if I am, but that's Jane barking. So this is our first one here, but we really are going to be focusing on this 9 pan right here more than our Viseart shades. But again, we'll see how it goes. And then I have depotted all of my Natasha Denona minis, and that's what this looks like. And my dream is this row right here. So if you guys can see. So we do have 3 mattes and 2 shimmers. And again, if I want to, I'm going to reach into the rest of this palette. That was the whole point of me mixing all of my shades together. So we're going to be working on the Mini My Dream, but we'll see how we do with the rest of the palette. And then we had the Viseart Rose Edit. And again, I mixed all of mine together. So the Rose Edit is the bottom 3 rows. The top 3 rows is the Paris Edit. But I love this as its own color story together, but that does make this a very mini 24 pan palette. So I'm curious how I'm going to use this and reach into this. But if I have it out, I might just use it and we'll see how it goes. Of course, I will pop up graphics of everything that I'm using next update because I don't have graphics for it right now, but we will see how I do. I'm very curious how I'm going to, hi, Mr. Wash. I'm very curious about how me depotting and mixing my palettes is going to affect my eyeshadow use. And this is maybe my intro into my experiment on how I end up doing, because everybody was like, oh my God, don't depot them. You're not going to use them. You're not going to do this. But I'm curious if this is going to kind of like reinvigorate these color stories for me. So we will have to see. So we still have the Sultry, the Tati Volume 1, the Quarter Rosa, Undergrowth, and then we have our 3 new picks coming in. So that is going to be our eyeshadow that we're going to be using over the next couple weeks. So let me run through really quickly the looks that I ended up doing. I don't know if this one was tagged on to my last update or not, but this is a look with the Rich Romantics from Glaminatrix. Absolutely beautiful with that berry look to it. Absolutely love it. And then let's see here. Lots of pictures around Christmas time. All of my inventory pictures are in here that I'm scrolling through. Then I did that really pretty look with Sultry, that cool tone look. I think I wore this in my inventory video, if I remember correctly. So love doing that cool tone look with Sultry. That is one of my favorite ones to do. Then I did a beautiful purple look with In a Trance. I had pictures of my eye being all swollen that I showed the doctor. Those are in here. Then we had a beautiful gold and green look with the Jaded palette. I wore that one in a video also, and you guys liked that look. Then I did a combination look with In a Trance and Sultry. This is probably where I ended up using the pink shade in Sultry for that look. Then a bronzy look with Tati Beauty. Those shades still perform and they're still so beautiful. a beautiful gold look with Tati Beauty and the Quarter Rosa. Again, the Quarter Rosa shimmers are just beautiful. I did that pinky look with the Bridgerton palette, and you guys can see that other shade that I used on my cheeks. Then I did a purple look with the So Jaded. So I got a bunch of shades used off of that side of the palette. And then let's see here. Then I sat in bed for a week. I have a picture that I ended up sending Andy, I think, and because all my northern friends were checking in on me, and I'm in bed in my sweater with my bonnet still on and working. And I'm like, what's the point of me getting up and changing clothes just to be freezing cold again? So, but we had a lot of fun on our snow days. And then the last look would be the look from today, which is from the Mercury Retrograde palette. So those are all the looks. Hopefully I will have more looks to share with you guys in the future because I need to get back onto my normal routine with wearing makeup so that I can actually use my products up. We project pan over here. We want to use our products up. But I hope that you guys are excited about another year of Project 10 uses and no pan left behind. And again, this past year has opened up my eyes to maybe I need to work on the number of palettes in my collection because past years I've been able to meet my goal. Back in 2024, I was not. So I'm being mindful about that, but I'm going to go because I have a lot of pictures to take, and actually we are going to run into town because, again, I haven't left the house in over a week, so we're going to run into town for a little bit. But I do appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to encourage you guys to do all of the things. Hit a thumbs up on this video if you are enjoying my content. Make sure to subscribe if you're new or lurking. I'd love to have you as part of my community over here on my channel. I do project panning, conscious consumerism, beauty budgets, eyeshadow looks, using what you have, and also I talk about my puppy dogs and they make little cameos from time to time. Hopefully while I was gushing about the snow, I put up some pictures of them playing in the snow as well so you guys can get a little peek of my little newly found love of, my snow dogs where they love snow now. But leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you guys are. I love our conversations down there. There's a problem with my comments right now that whenever they pop up on my channel and there's the read more because you guys have written more in your comments, which again, I love the long comments. You guys know I write you a book back. But whenever I click the read more, it won't expand the comments. So I'm hopeful that that is going to fix itself, that I can actually see y'all's full comment. But if I haven't replied to you, it's because I can't see the rest of your comment and I don't want it to disappear before I can read it. But drop me a comment down below. Let me know how you guys are doing. If you also got snow in the south, let me know how you guys are doing with that. But otherwise, I'm going to take all my pictures. This is going up a day late, so I apologize, but that is just me being lazy right now. Apparently, I needed extra days just to calm my brain down. But I do appreciate you guys so much. This video will typically go up on the 25th just for future knowledge on my uploading schedule. But I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. I hope that you all have a beautiful day, and I'm going to catch you in my next one.